Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Chantelle. This is my basic journey. I live and travel in my minivan with my dog Joey, and we're currently in Washington State. I've actually been in Washington for about 2 weeks now, but I've been kind of taking some time off and really taking the time to relax because if you guys have been following along, I have been going for so long that I just needed time to kind of just chill. So I spent quite a lot of time at the last place that I left you guys off at Avery Park, which is right on the border of Washington and Oregon on the Columbia River. I stayed at Avery Park for a full 7 days, a full week, and there were 2 signs up at Avery Park. One said that there was a 7-day limit and one said a 14-day limit, and I decided not to test that, so I just stayed for 7 days. And I actually really liked this spot. It was completely free. It was right on the Columbia River. You had beautiful views of Mount Hood. There was a bathroom. The only downside is that there were trains that went by every couple hours. Other than that, this spot was really nice. It was a local favorite. You can tell the weekend definitely filled up more, whereas like one of the days during the week I was there completely alone. So it definitely fluctuates a lot, but it was so beautiful. And if you can stand trains going by, and I mean they're like right next to you, if you can handle that, this is a great free place to go. From there, I actually headed back into Oregon just for one day. It was about a 15-minute drive to the Biggs Junction, but the entire drive there is absolutely beautiful. It's all along the Columbia River, and it's just very scenic and a beautiful drive. But Biggs Junction is right over the bridge, and Oregon has a series of travel centers, gas stations, fast food places. I was able to shower here, get ice, water, and food. 5 minutes down the road from this Biggs Junction is a tiny little town called Rufus, Oregon, and they have another free spot you can stay here. This was another free spot right on the Columbia River, and this one also had a bathroom, which I am always so excited when I find these places that are free to stay, but they also have an actual bathroom. Yes, it's a pit toilet, but this one did have 2 stalls, and they were so freaking clean. I just want to give a huge thumbs up and a shout out to the people who clean these pit toilets in Rufus, Oregon, because they were immaculate. Thank you so much. This spot did have a beach area and is a popular place for kite surfers to go. So it was a lot of fun because I got to watch all of these people who are kite surfing the entire time. It was super cool seeing them because I've never personally gone kite surfing, but it looked like it was a lot of fun, and you probably need some core muscle in order to like hold yourself up, but it looked like it was just a blast. And they looked so tiny going next to like these huge barges going by, and they're just kind of surfing along with them, and it was really, really cool. And it was also a popular spot for fishing, so there was a bunch of people fishing there. I'm not sure what the limit is here of how many days you can stay, but there were a lot of RVs and a lot of vans, and so I felt very comfortable staying. I only stayed for 1 night, but I could definitely see myself going back there and staying for a longer period of time and maybe trying to learn how to kite surf. There was tons of space here too, so I imagine in the summer it does get pretty busy, but I could never see not being able to find a spot because there's so much space. And this was only one of the parking lots that I stayed in. There are actually a couple other spots that you can camp at down this road that you have to take to get here. This one just happened to be like the closest vicinity to the bathroom. There was another bathroom, just not right in the lot like this one. Like I said, I only stayed at this spot for 1 day. I was actually waiting for a package to come in. I got something sent general delivery to Lisle, Washington, which wasn't that far. It was only like a 30-minute drive from where I was in Oregon and Rufus. It was a lot closer to where I was in Avery, but it took a little bit longer than expected to get there. But I did have to drive into Lisle to get a package. There's nothing very exciting in Lisle besides the fact that they did have a post office that accepts general delivery, but it is just this tiny little town that's along the Columbia River, but it was on the way to my next destination. So now I have a little bit of a story time for you guys. This day ended up being the scariest day I've had in my van so far, and I'm going to share that with you guys. So I was on my way to my next destination. I stopped in Stevenson, which is really close to where I was going. They had a really nice grocery store that had a ton of vegan options. They also had a water fill station in the back, which was very nice. I didn't have to go run around looking for one. But the spot that I was going to go to was only a couple miles from this market. So I was on my way to this spot, and there was a point where the road turned to gravel, and it started to go up a hill on a curve. And it was a pretty steep hill, but nothing that my van hasn't done before. So I wasn't worried about it at all. I thought I would be able to make it up just fine, and so that's what I was doing. I was going up this curvy, steep hill until I wasn't anymore, and I felt my van start to slip backwards, and I started panicking immediately because it felt like I lost complete control of my van and I was just sliding backwards. And so I was trying to press on the gas to get me to go forward, but it just kind of dug up the gravel below me. And when I pressed on the brake, I just slid backwards. And so I was kind of like in a pickle at this moment and panicking. So I tried to slow down and step on the brake, and I felt the back of my tires go off the side of the road. And like I told you guys, I was up a steep hill that was curvy, and so the side of the road is just this steep embankment with nothing below it besides trees and a freaking swamp. And so I felt the back of my tires go off, and I'm like pressing as hard on my brakes as I can at this point just to try to get me to stop moving because I was just sliding out of control and I could not do anything about it. And so I was just kind of stuck there. I had 2 of my back tires off the back of this thing, and I felt my van was like, and so I was kind of just stuck there with 2 of my front tires in the front, like on the road, like barely, and then my back 2 tires were down this steep ass embankment, It was so scary. I was like freaking out. Luckily, this old man happened to be driving down this road at the same time. Like, it wasn't even a full minute before he turned the corner and he saw me, and so I waved him down. I probably wouldn't have had to because he could have easily seen that I was about to fall off the road, but he did stop and waited for the cop to get there and get a tow there. In this moment, I was freaking out so much that I completely forgot that I have AAA, and I could have totally just called AAA and gotten a free tow out of there. But when the old man told me call 911, I didn't really think much into it and just did what he told me to do. And I handed him Joey. I was like, please take my dog. And so I handed him Joey, and he was like holding on to Joey outside of my van. And I didn't want to let go, because if I had let go and got out of my car, he kept trying to get me to get out of the car. But if I did that, I would have lost everything, and there was a good chance that my van probably would not have made it from the fall. It probably would have done too much damage to be saved, so I was like holding on for dear frickin' life. It only took about 10 minutes for a cop to show up with a tow, and they were easily able to get me off the side of the road. But that was definitely the scariest moment that I've ever had in my life. You can imagine why I didn't film a lot of it, because my adrenaline and my anxiety was just so high that I did not even think, hey, I should pick up my phone and record this for YouTube. But I did try to get a little bit of it, at least the end of it, when I was about to be saved. But yeah, that was the scariest moment I've had on the road so far, and we're coming on to a year now. Next week, we're at the end of May, so by next week I will be in my van for a year, which is just crazy to think about, but we've kind of come full circle too, because I'm back into the Pacific Northwest at this point. Anyways, at the end of the day, all I had to do is just remind myself, like, you're still alive, Joey's fine, Bubsy is fine, and we just went on our merry way after I spent $148 frickin' for this tow. So next time that I'm in this near-death experience, I'm going to have to remember that I have AAA. I obviously did not stay at the spot that I was heading to. I got so freaked out that I just kept driving way further than I planned on. I did want to spend a little bit more time in the Columbia River Gorge, but I was just so panicked that I just kept driving past Vancouver, Washington into Longview. They have a Walmart that allows overnight parking there, and I stayed at a Walmart for the first time ever. So that was my scary day, and I ended up just taking a large dose of CBD and going to bed. The Walmart that I stayed in wasn't 24 hours, but they did have a lot of porta potties outside that were very clean, and hand washing stations, so I really appreciated that when I woke up really early in the morning and wanted to leave. Just headed over there, used those porta potties, and then headed out to get a coffee. I kept heading west from here and actually ended up driving all the way to the coast, but I did make some stops along the way. I just found the cutest little town. I mean, there's only like 3 little shops right here, but it's so cute. I'm gonna show you guys. So that little town over there, and I don't know if you guys can see the bridge from here. You can kind of see it over here. But that is Astoria, Oregon. It's like the very northern tip of the Oregon coast. And it is the cutest little coastal town. So now I'm back on the 101 driving up the coast of Washington. I'm actually towards the bottom. That's where I'm at right now. And my spot is actually super cool. It's right off the 101, off the highway, but there are a bunch of trees that kind of cover me so I can't be seen if you're just driving by, which I really, really like for safety reasons. And it's very rainforesty here. Everything is super green and covered in moss. They actually have a little walking trail right here if you want to take it. It's just a really, really nice spot. And I feel like I'm finally back into my comfort zone, or like my favorite area to be in. I've experienced many different climates in my life, but this rainforesty vibe is definitely my favorite. And I've gotten to explore a lot of Oregon. The majority of Oregon, I would say, I've gotten to see and explore, but I have not gotten to see and explore a lot of Washington. I've experienced many climates, and this rainforesty vibe is definitely my favorite, and I've gotten to explore most of Oregon, but I haven't gotten to see a lot of Washington. And so I'm going to be spending the next couple of months here exploring, and I want to definitely focus on kind of the area I'm in now, which is the Olympic Peninsula. If you guys have watched the Twilight films, they were kind of featured in this area, and it is absolutely breathtaking. This area is also home to the Hoh rainforest, which is the largest temperate rainforest in the US, and I actually have a reservation there coming up soon. So if that's something you're interested in, you're new here, definitely subscribe below, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, because this is where I'm gonna leave you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you made it through the whole thing of me rambling on, I really appreciate you, but I'll see you guys in the next video.